Here's how to create your subdomain or directory site on EZDeals. So once you're logged in, if it's your first time logging into the EZDeals, you'll be able to see here an option to create your site. So you have to set up your subdomain first or your directory site. So you have to be careful when choosing your subdomain name, as it cannot be edited, deleted, or changed once you have created it. So here, you have to think of the directory site name that you want to put. So in our case, let's just put first the demo. So it will become demo.ctdeals.live. So for site title, and then once done, click on generate my site. So you will see here that it's setting up already, and it would usually take 7 to 10 minutes. So meanwhile, you can visit your dashboard to customize. So for the next videos, I'll show you how you can customize your directory site. To use your own domain name or CNAME URL on your EZDeals directory site, then you have to use the CNAME feature. So for example, you have demo.ctdeals.live. This is your EZDeals directory, and you want to use your own domain name or subdomain. Then you have to add CNAME on your server. Then you can use this feature. So to add CNAME record on your server, you have to log in to your server, select the domain for which you want to add the CNAME record, and then go to DNS management. So I have here an example of the CNAME record as shown. So once you're in DNS management, click on add new record, select type as CNAME from the drop down on your DNS management, and then enter the site URL which you want to use for your EZDeals site. So enter myownwebsite.com, that is the domain that I want to use. And then for the target URL, you have to enter here your EZDeals directory site URL. So in my case, it's demo.ctdeals.live. And then you have to select TTL from drop down, and do not forget to save the record. So once you have done this adding the CNAME, you can now configure it on your EZDeals directory site. So let's go over. So this is the EZDeals site that I want to configure the CNAME. So I'll go to site configuration, this icon, and then so I have to put here the domain URL that I want to use. So please be careful on putting here your domain, as it cannot be changed once it's added. So make sure you provide here what you provided on the CNAME record that you have created, and then click generate my site. You will see here it's configured successfully. So in addition, for you to be able to check if your CNAME mapping has been propagated successfully, so you can visit whatsmydns.net. So you can put here your domain and then make sure it's on CNAME. So you type it here and then click on search. So to give you an example, so I have created the CNAME mapping for this domain. So this is my domain, and I pointed it to my city.ctdeals.live. So if I want to check it, I'll go here to whatsmydns.net and then type here my domain. So make sure it's on CNAME, and then when you click on search, you will see here that it's pointed to my directory. So this is my city.ctdeals.live. So here is my subdomain, and the domain is here. So now when I check, this is my domain, empireapp.net. So you will see this is my site, right? So if in any case that you have made the CNAME mapping procedure correctly and it doesn't show up here, for example, just an example, this is how it would look like. It shows here it's X. So you would have to contact directly your host for them to check since you have already made the procedure on how to add a CNAME record on your domain. So you can contact them directly and ask them to add it and point it to the website or the subdomain where you want to add that domain. So that's how we can configure CNAME mapping on your EZDeals directory site. In this video, we're going to show you how you can create your CNAME mapping or how to make a CNAME record on your domain or hosting site. So first, you're on your EZDeals dashboard. So for example, you have created this california.cddeals.live, and if you have your own domain, so you want to use that for this particular subdomain, so you want to use your own branding or own domain for this site, you may do so. So first thing that you have to do, once you have your domain, you have to log into the cPanel of your hosting server. Alright, so in my case, I'm going to show you an example. So here, so this is the cPanel of my hosting server. So in here, I have to go to my domains and then on the tab of the DNS. So take note, it would be different for every hosting server, but the process is similar. So first I have to go to the DNS and then select which domain that I'm going to use. So in here, I have several subdomains that has been created already. So all I need to do here is to create a new record. So add new record. So in my case, it's down here below. And also you have to take note that for each domain, so you have to contact your hosting server as to how many domain names or subdomains you can create for each domain that you have purchased with them. So here, so basically it's the same process. You're adding a new record, and then you have to input the domain name that you want to use, right? So in my case, I'm creating one, for example, for California. So I'm using california.engageLeadsReview.com. So for the TTL, make sure the value is at 3,600. And then for the type, it has to be CNAME, right? So the next step is you have to put in here where you want to point this site. So we're going back to our EZDeals. So this one, we're going to select california.cddeals.live, right? So in this case, you do not need to input the HTTPS and so on. Just go straight to the california.cddeals.live where you want to point this domain or the record that you are creating. And then afterwards, just click on the check. So you have to confirm that this will be your the record that you are creating, along with the value. It's 3,600, and of course the CNAME. So click on confirm. Right. So once you have added it, it's here. So for you to check, so you can go through this website. We have here what's mydns.net, so you can simply visit that. And then, so here we're going to paste the domain that we have added a record on your hosting cPanel. So make sure this one is on CNAME, and then when you click on search, you will see here that it is propagated to the site where we want to point. So instead of website visitors going to this cddeals.live, it will go to california.engageLeadsReview.com, right? So this is one way of checking if it has been propagated properly, right? So once you have confirmed that this has been propagated properly, you can now go back to your EZDeals dashboard, go to site configuration. So this one, you can configure your subdomain. So here we will put the domain or the record that we have added. So it's california.engageleadsreview.com. So here, do not put also HTTPS. Just enter the URL itself. So california.engageleadsreview.com, and once it's confirmed where you want to point this subdomain, click on Generate My Site. So you will see that it's configured successfully. So when you go to your dashboard, so you will see here your domain URL. So do not forget again to put that on the site configuration. So it would take usually 5 to 10 minutes, but sometimes it would take at least 24 hours. So you have to check once this site has been pointed to your own domain that you want to use. All right. So again, so here, I'll show you an example. So for example, this one that I have previously created, I'll just check it on my What's My DNS if it's pointed to the correct EZDeals hub or website. So here, you can see here it has check mark. So it means it has propagated correctly or properly. All right. So let's check if this would point to the website. So when I go to mumbai.engageleadsreview.com, this is an example. So you will see here that it directs to the domain. So the EZDeals or the EZDeals hub directory site where I pointed my own domain. So again, you have to take note, each of the following cPanel hosting would differ from each other, but the process is still the same. So all you have to do is to add a new record. So make sure you point it to your EZDeals site, and the type should be CNAME. And of course, the TTL value should be set at 3,600. Then the next step, of course, site configuration. And then do not put any HTTPS on it. So configure here on your domain URL, and you should be good to go. URL, if it has been propagated already. So I'm going now to california.engageleadsreview.com instead of the cddeals.live. Alright, so this means that we have successfully configured our CNAME for our EZDeals directory site pointed to our own domain that we want to use.